Hello everyone, how are you guys? So I was not wanting to neglect these Michael Harding samples that came in from a very sweet and generous person on my Facebook group. Thank you so much to Ray Galloway for sending this. He is my watercolor fairy of the month, and I can't believe it's just now that I'm getting to open these because I feel like it has been forever. But I have been building a watercolor store at jackswatercolor.com, and my God, you guys have been keeping me busy. So if you are into watercolor and you want to try out all kinds of different watercolors, I have a watercolor subscription at jackswatercolor.com. And what we do is we send out watercolor samples every single month, themed. So this current month is a seaside, beautiful seaside set from M. Graham. And if you want to check out some of the other videos, I was actually playing around with some of the colors from the set with the papers that come in the set. This is the dot card version, and then there's also these larger versions of samples that we do in the subscription. So they're really fun. You should go and check it out. But anyway, Jackson's is having a sale on Michael Harding, and you know, I still have yet to actually look at these samples. So I thought I would get them out because it's really hard to not pay attention to these sales. But I have no idea if I even like Michael Harding. So it's, you know, great place to do it, right? So here I am at 1 o'clock in the morning looking at this so generous amount of watercolor that he sent me so that I could just see if I like it. And that is like wonderful. What a great community. So I have these swatch books on my website these days, and this is the answer to the question of how do you swatch? Hi there, how are you? Hey Terry. I actually make these little 100% cotton watercolor swatch books, and this is what I keep my swatches in. So I'm actually going to do a new one for Michael Harding, and also because coming up in a video here in a very short period of time is a brand new set of A. Gallo that was just sent to me, gifted from A. Gallo. They do it every year for Christmas, and I'm so excited to open these. I'm saving it to open with you guys. I can't even tell you how many times late at night I have gone to open that set and then been like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. All right, so we just give these a little spray of water, and I'm just going to start going through, and I'm going to do them in order here so that I don't have to label these right away. And so this one is, it says warm yellow light 104. So warm yellow light, where are we? Oh, there we are. Okay, so we're starting here on the chart, I guess. So these, I'm assuming these are his favorite ones, or the ones that he's collected from Michael Harding. This is almost like, definitely like a white. Yep, so it has white in it with a little bit of yellow. It's a nice color, not something that I would buy because I could definitely mix something like this up myself from watercolor. So when you're buying tubes, I probably wouldn't spend money on one of these particular colors because you always have white on hand, and I prefer to kind of mix as I go when I want something like that. But Hansa Yellow is very interesting to me. Hansa Yellow Medium I see, number 231. And that is Hansa Yellow Medium. So it's a single pigment PV97. So this is very sunshiny, very warm. I'm using my VINCI COSMOTOP. This is a mix brush. That's nice for a lot of things. So that's a really beautiful yellow. I like that. It's pretty. Is it unusual? No, not really. It's not something that has anything, you know, particularly special in it. If it were in a set, it'd be fine. But I don't think that, you know, I mean, keep in mind, guys, I have a subscription company that sells watercolor, and I make handmade watercolors, so I have a lot of watercolors. But still, I don't want to take away from the fact that he sent these to me, and he's so generous to do it, because I love, whether the opinion is, oh my gosh, or the opinion is, oh, okay, it's pretty standard, it's still an opinion. Yellow, so that one was lemon yellow, gorgeous yellow, very, very standard, very in line with what you should expect from lemon yellow. I think these re-wet lovely. They're beautiful, and they're very, very bright and very bold, which is good. They're definitely professional grade and gorgeous watercolors. This is yellow. Oh my gosh, I never can get that name. Hang on. So, yellow Benz Mizdazone. Don't even ask me. I have no idea. Yep. Yellow Benz. Then Yellow Lake. So Yellow Lake is probably my choice because it's a very, very bright yellow. And I think I typically get like a golden yellow in my palette. I get a bright like sunshine yellow. One of my favorite yellows is actually Sweet Lemons. That's one from my own colors, which is very similar to the lemon yellow. And then I mix another color called Sunshine that's kind of in between this Yellow Lake and probably this cadmium yellow. Yeah, it is. It's kind of like more buttery. I love the cadmium yellow. That to me is very warm and sunny. And if I were going to pick two for this palette, I think I would either go with the Hansa Yellow Medium, because I really like that, and it's a single pigment. I think the lemon's a bit too much, but here's the thing, is the Hansa Yellow Medium, and I don't know if you feel the same way, is very close to the cadmium yellow. So then to make that decision, I would just kind of look at the pigments. I would check for the one that was excellent rating, which it looks like they both are, and I would look for single pigment colors, you know. If I were just going to pick one, I would maybe go with the cadmium yellow just because it's really, really nice. But at the same time, this Hansa Yellow Medium, I would think that this would probably be my more informed choice because of all of the watercolors that I've usually used. I tend to like these better than the cadmiums. I think sometimes the cadmiums can be a bit thick and sometimes a bit opaque, although in this company it doesn't appear to be that way. I don't know, we'd have to run like more painting tests, right? The Indian Yellow, I love this. This is beautiful. It's very sunshine. This is more like my sunshine color. Still, this is a bit more orange, but a gorgeous Indian yellow. Permanent Orange. I was just looking, I think this was the one I was looking at online. I think this is Permanent Orange is a single pigment color. Is it Permanent Orange? Yeah, PO73. I think, no, it's Orange Sunset. Do you have Orange Sunset on here? I really wanted to try Orange Sunset, but it's okay. I don't see it. Ooh, this is Permanent Orange. So I like it. I'm not crazy about it. I think it's a bit weak without layering. I think it's nice. I'm not in love with it though. But still, it's a nice color. There's nothing particular, like nothing really particularly crazy amazing about it. Rose Dior. Let me just preface in saying that, listen, I swatch so much watercolor. You really, like, at this point, I really have to go crazy over it. If you're just starting out, I feel like Michael Harding might be a little pricey for these particular watercolors, but at the same time, they're beautiful colors. So if you like Michael Harding and you want to like invest in the brand, then by all means, these are beautiful watercolors. Would I recommend that you pay these prices for these watercolors? I don't know. I'm kind of partial to some other ones over this company, but at the same time, I do like them. This is Perylene Crimson. The Rose Dior is a beautiful color. Perylene Crimson is very, very pretty as well. This is almost like a tomato red. It's an interesting one. Perylenes are nice. Like I almost want to collect Perylenes. I like them. There are a couple of colors here that I had seen online that I was interested in, which was Perylene Green. Yep, that's here too, so we're going to get to see that. So that's Perylene Crimson. Then Scarlet Lake is next. My circles are getting progressively larger. Oh, I just messed up. Hang on. Scarlet Lake. Scarlet Lake's gorgeous. This is definitely my kind of red. Just out of curiosity, let's see what this Scarlet Lake is here. So Scarlet Lake, Rich Scarlet and Scarlet Light. So Scarlet Lake is a semi-transparent PR 170. It's beautiful. So this would be one of my more pinky reds. I do really like that one. So actually the Perylene Crimson and the Scarlet Lake so far are two that I would actually buy from this brand. I like them. I like the way they paint, and they are a little bit like nicer than your average. Cadmium red, nothing really that special. I'm not really crazy about the color of it, and I don't really love the way this one paints. So let me just real quick write the names of the ones that I do like so far, which is Perylene Crimson. I hope this helps you, being that there is a Jackson sale. I did put a link in my description box for Jackson's. It's an affiliate link, so if you could use that, that would be really, really nice, because then we could fund some more giveaways. This Indian yellow is really pretty. It dried a lot less orange than it was. I liked that. Not sure about, I still think the Hansa yellow medium would be my choice. Okay, so where were we? So Scarlet Lake, Cadmium, didn't like that. So this one is the other Scarlet, Rich Scarlet. Beautiful. That's a really nice true red. I believe, yep, PR, yep. Beautiful, beautiful red scarlet. So Rich Scarlet is a good one. You see how much more red this is than the pink? The Scarlet Lake is a little more pink, this is a little more red, and then this is that Perylene, so beautiful. This is Perylene Maroon. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is really rich. That's a really different color. This is something I would see maybe by Schmincke, or something I would see from A Gallo in the handmade watercolor department. I really like this one. It's really pretty. It's just good for like this time of year, you know, if you're gonna do some like really deep jewel tones. 179. Let me make sure I get the thing right. It is, thank you for putting these in order too. I think it's the maroon, right? And then Rich Scarlet. The ones I like again are getting a label Just so we can figure them out. Alizarin Crimson. So this is the standard Alizarin Crimson. And this one looks very, very pink to me. Kind of different than some of my others. I really like the Alizarin Crimson from M. Graham better than this one. But this one does have some interesting qualities to it. I just don't know that I would categorize this as the Alizarin Crimson. I don't know. Maybe in multiple layers. Right? Still beautiful. Still pretty. Alizarin Claret? Alizarin Claret. So let's see, where are we? So I'm on Alizarin Crimson's right there, and then Alizarin Claret. So this is a much more pink, really bold, kind of like a, I would say this is kind of like a violet pink, like it leans more hot, like a hot pink. So it's got a lot of warm. That's actually a gorgeous pink. I like that pink. I can have fun with that pink for sure, especially if it's light fast. That's pretty. Okay, moving on. Quinacridone Rose, the basics to every palette out there. And this is a beautiful Quin Rose. This is really pretty. So this one I would say is equal to the Daniel Smith Quin Rose. That is a tried and true favorite of most people, and also, but not as powerful as the A Gallo Quin Rose, but still, this is a beautiful one. I like the fact that this one has a bit of fluorescent. It's got that like brightness in it. It's a very clear color too, not dirty at all. It's just a gorgeous bright quinacridone. Quinacridone Coral was another one I was really interested in. I have the coral from Roman Schmal that I really love. It's like a cherry color, and I have the one from Daniel Smith that I also really love, and this one's a beautiful color as well. It's really pretty. Again, you can get these swatch books on my website at Jack's Watercolors, so if you're interested, they're really fun because they come with all kinds of swatching ideas and a whole lesson on swatching. Brilliant Pink is next. I make them from Fabriano 100% cotton paper because I really like to swatch and do everything on 100% cotton paper when I get a chance. It's just my preference, and I'm able to do these at a really nice price. So this is a beautiful pink. I love this. I'll bet this has white in it though, huh? Brilliant Pink. Yeah, it does. It's got 4 colors in it, but semi-opaque, but it's really pretty. It's almost like, I mean, I can't bring myself to purchase that color because I know I can mix it. You know, I primarily will purchase a special green if they've really achieved something that I can't mix, or a granulating color, but I typically won't purchase ones with white just because I know I can mix them so easily. But it is good if you can't and you don't have all the colors like I do. I have a lot of paint, right? So I have, at this point, I don't need to buy more paint unless it's going to be in our subscription, which possibly, I mean, if you see any colors here that you want to try out in the subscription service, let me know. That magenta is gorgeous. This is Amethyst. So I wonder if their amethyst doesn't seem to have sparkles in it like the Daniel Smith amethyst, and it's more of a violet purple, but it's very bright and really pretty. But I think I can't really get used to anything saying it's amethyst that doesn't have like the Daniel Smith amethyst sparkles in it. This magenta is beautiful. Again, this, if you can't mix it, this brilliant pink, which I don't think I would call it brilliant pink. It's more of like a salmon, like a milky salmon, because it's got white in it. But remember, this is not a single pigment color. These two are. This one is amethyst. As a color, that is stunning. Manganese violet is one of my favorites, but I can tell you right now I don't like this version of it. I like the Schmincke version of it much better. This one is a bit tough to get to the color value that I'm used to painting with, but it is a wonderful color to use in mixes because it's got so much granulation in it. But to paint with this one, I think I would struggle with it a bit to get the deeper hue out of it that I would kind of demand or expect. Potter's Pink. I love Potter's Pink. No, I don't like this Potter's Pink though. So my favorite Potter's Pink I actually sell on my website, and it is by Schmincke. I love the Schmincke Potter's Pink. This one is a little too brown. And it's not as, it's not as flowy as the Schmincke one. They do a great job, but Schmincke binders, I use those in my handmade watercolors, and they're tough to beat. They are amazing binders. That's why I use the Schmincke binders, because why mess with perfection? Now this is some kind of purple. I think it says Corinthian purple. It's a neat, almost looking like it's a granulating deep wine purple, which is very, very pretty. Can you guys see it? I'll move over. Beautiful purple. I actually mix this color a lot myself because I love this. It's pretty easy to mix. I've mixed it with like my M-grams and everything. But it's really pretty to have that as a color coming right out of a tube would be nice. Oh, but it's not a single pigment color. Oh, yeah, of course it's not, right? So Corinth purple, but that's not single pigment, meaning that it's made with 3 colors. Transparent, non-staining. Well, it's kind of nice though, right? I mean, that's maybe the one color here that is a mix that I would consider buying, because it's a really beautiful one. This next one is Perylene Violet. Perylenes are great, like I said, to have. I do really like this Perylene Violet. This would be beautiful, stunning next to some blues, mixed into some florals. That's really pretty. I've been really loving purples lately, you know? Which colors are you guys seeing that you like so far? Hello, hello. This one got covered, but it's 168. I can find the number. So this is Belladonna. Oh, I'm glad you sent me this one because I saw this online and I was curious about it. It's really pretty. See, I actually like Belladonna better than their Manganese Violet, but Belladonna is made with 3 pigments. But I do love the richness of this purple. It's really pretty. I feel like, couldn't you make this with 2 pigments though? Do you really need the 3rd? I'm wondering. Imperial Purple. So one of my favorite Imperial Purples is by Daniel Smith, because when you like use salt or something on it, it actually splits into like a pink and a purple. I don't really see that one happening here as much. I'll leave that really wet. No, it doesn't really have the qualities that Daniel Smith has. And then in my own line, I make a violet haze that splits so nicely, and I love the way it splits. So I think I'm gonna stick with the ones that I have. I do like this one though. This Belladonna is gorgeous, but again, it's just made with 3 pigments. Deep purple dioxazine. Dioxazine is also a really nice color to have. It's a really true purple, and it paints beautifully. So typically, the dioxazine purples usually are transparent, and this one is transparent, and it is a single pigment color. So very nice one, very, very nice. Indian Throne Blue has been rising in popularity lately. I think I'm going to put my blues on the next page. So let's move this over. This is what I love about this swatch book, is I can just open it up. And then I can see all my colors at once. Beautiful Indian Throne Blue. This is really pretty. I like the deeper hues in Indian Throne Blues, you know, like I really like to take advantage of the more mass tone within the blue. This one I have to pick up a little bit more, but that just could be the swatch. Gorgeous, really pretty blue. Isn't that pretty? You guys want me to come in a little closer? Hopefully this is bright enough. And Phthalo Blue Lake. Well, that's pretty. I wonder why they call it lake. That's really pretty. So let's see what it says. Phthalo Blue Lake, transparent. Okay, so it's the standard PB15-3 as opposed to the PB15-1 or PB15-2. So their Phthalo Blue Red shade is next. Usually there are 2. There being a red shade, and let's just wipe some of that water off. So this is a nice one as well. I actually like the Blue Lake for me. I think it's kind of fun, but I do like this red shade. This is a really great color to have on hand. I don't know that you need to pay premium dollars for phthalos because there's so many options. You can get a beautiful phthalo from Schmincke or pretty much any of the brands. I haven't really met a phthalo that beat out another phthalo, you know what I mean? So you don't really need to spend a fortune on that particular color. I would go with something that is more of the you know, the really unique colors from lines. Okay, wait, I'll put it over here because I want you guys to see as many swatches as possible. So let me adjust this just a bit. There we go. Maybe, no, I'm trying to get it in my camera here so that you can see both of these. There we go. So this one is Prussian Blue. Prussian Blue for me always has to be a single pigment. I don't like Prussian that is made up of several pigments. And you'll notice that in some brands, Prussian Blue is not a single pigment. and in others it is. So this one is a single pigment, which is PB27. That's a preferred Prussian for me. And I do love the color because it almost has an indigo quality to it. Prussian is something I prefer to use over a lot of blues because it's got a little more depth of color to it. And ultimately, if I don't have Prussian on hand, I mix what Prussian looks like. I mix it. So I think it's a great color to have for skies because you can like really just give so much life to your sky through Prussian blue. The next one is Cobalt Blue Deep. So this should be a very beautiful granulating color that is got transparency and should be non-staining. And that's what the beauty of cobalt is. A lot of professional watercolor artists stick with cobalt, despite the fact that it's toxic, right? But I mean, it's not like you're going to eat the paint, but they stick with it because it is lifting. It's easy to lift. It blends so well with colors, and it's kind of like that medium, middle of the road purple or blue that doesn't have too much purple in it. I can say though that this particular Cobalt Deep, it does look a little bit leaning purple for me, but I do like the shade. Yeah, just it does. So on their chart, it says there is a Cobalt Blue Deep and then a Cobalt Blue. And it looks like the Cobalt Blue is PB28, which is the standard one, but I don't see it here on the swatches. So I'm thinking you just went with the Cobalt Blue Deep, which is nice. It's nice, but it's a little bit, it's semi-transparent. This one is, it's great granulation. The granulation is amazing here, but I would love to have seen the other Cobalt Blue because this one's just a little too purple. The Ultramarine Blue is beautiful and they have a lot of granulation. Now normally I use Schmincke's Ultramarine Finest, and in fact I even use that in some of my mixes where I need this color to mix. So I love the Schmincke version so much. It's beautiful. They have a lightly granulating version and they have the French Ultra, but this is highly granulating and such a beautiful mix. I would dare to say that like I would compare prices. I can say though that this one, despite the fact that it leans a little bit purple, it really is a super granulating color. So if you love a lot of granulating color in your cobalt and you don't mind it being a little bit purple, that's a really pretty color. This is a beautiful ultramarine blue. I don't know, I'd have to compare the price of the tube. I think I probably would still go with my Schmincke because I really love it. But if I were just buying Michael Harding and it were in a set, then I would definitely use it. So let's just label those two blues because I don't want to lose track of them. I have dropped my pen, so let me go get my pen. How are we doing so far? So far, so good. Did you see any colors you like? Are you in agreeing with me? Are you not? I'd love to know what you feel about these colors. It gives me tremendous insight into things that you guys would like to see in maybe color showcases on this website in my YouTube videos. Love that Prussian blue though, huh? So, oops, I just stuck them on each other. So the next one is cerulean blue. I love a beautiful cerulean blue. So this one to me looks like Danielle Smith's chromium cerulean blue. It's like chromium cobalt cerulean, I believe. which I used to use a lot. I don't know why I don't use it that much anymore. I kind of have shifted. I'm trying to think of what I grab for, but this is a really beautiful one. I like that. I like that version. I'm looking at the, sorry to be so quiet, but I am looking here. Chromium. Oh, not chromium, cerulean blue. I don't even see it on here. I don't know why. It must be, well, I can't find it. Maybe it'll appear. Oh, there it is. Cerulean blue. PB36, yeah. So opaque, excellent light fast. That's a beautiful blue, but it does look a lot like the Daniel Smith chromium cobalt, which I think, do I have it here? I don't know. I don't think I have my swatch. Manganese blue is a really pretty one too. I don't have my chromium swatch here. That's lunar. Oh, I wish I had the swatch so I could see. I'll just look for it later. I have been rearranging so much lately. Cobalt teal. So this looks identical to the cobalt teal by Daniel Smith because it's got like that very green tinge to it. Paints beautifully though. And I can see it doesn't look like it cracks. I wonder if it does, because cobalt teal is famous for cracking. It's almost the PG50. It is insane. It cracks like crazy. But I love the Sennelier one. The Sennelier PG50 is beautiful. The Daniel Smith one is really beautiful. And lately I feel like the Daniel Smith one has gone down as far as PG50. PG50 is like one of the most expensive colors to buy these days. And I haven't checked the sale by Michael Harding, but I would have to say that his PG50 is probably priced pretty high because I noticed that all of his watercolors are a bit high. But again, if it's fabulous, then it's worth it, right? If you love it. I'm just trying to give you guys a comparison as far as what they paint like and maybe other colors and different lines that might be more affordable if these are too inaccessible for you, be to location or color, like color price per hue, right? So if you can pick up a 15 ml instead of a 12 ml for the same price, or if you're mixing different lines and you don't mind which line, there are a lot of professional grade and they do fluctuate. So if they paint similar or the same, you might just want to go with the other brand, especially if you use a lot of it like me. This is a beautiful color. So Caribbean turquoise is a lot like Sennelier phthalo turquoise. This is really pretty. Or like phthalo green is one of the shades that I really love. But this Caribbean turquoise, I had my eye on it. And it's really stunning. So let's check and see. Caribbean turquoise. Oh, okay, so it's a mix. So this is basically just phthalo blue plus viridian. Okay, so I wouldn't buy that one because I could mix it. I wish it was a single pigment color or something, you know, but it is beautiful. So basically you can mix this with a phthalo blue and yeah, and just viridian, which you should have. Everybody should have a viridian green in their little arsenal of colors. Let's look at aqua green. But it is Caribbean turquoise gorgeous. They have a really nice mix. Aqua green. This is pretty. So Sennelier actually has one of these colors. in theirs. This aqua green almost looks as well like the Viridian green by some of the brands. Their aqua green, I wonder if it's a phthalo green color, but I have seen some Viridians look this color. I think actually, I want to say Mission Gold Viridian looks like this. So aqua green is a mix of PG7, which is Viridian, and PB15-3. Okay, so basically both of these are mixed with a phthalo blue and a green. So you would get it by just putting more of the Viridian to get this, if you want it to lean that way, or more of the phthalo blue if you want to get it to lean more Caribbean. So you probably have a color, you probably have what will mix these colors already in your watercolor set. This is Phthalo Green Lake, which looks a lot like Viridian, except like just the bright phthalo green version. Now, because this has like kind of like a yellow cast to it, this would make some pretty interesting sap greens. If you got crafty, you probably would have to mix it with 3 colors, but it is a really beautiful phthalo green color. Bright Green Lake. Oh, that is a very modern chartreuse. That's really stunning. Now there's a color that you don't see every day. Kind of have a winner for florals. If you're into florals, this is a great color to get, but let's check and see what it's made out of. Okay, again, this is a mix. So PG7, which is Viridian, and PY, what is that? PY80. So, but I am going to mark it bright because it's a hard one to mix. Bright Green Lake. I would say the average person could not mix this color, so that would be worth a buy. I think a lot of people would have trouble mixing it. And plus, I don't think you would find in your average set the colors that you need to mix it. You would find the green, but probably not the yellow. But you could probably come up with something like that if you tried maybe the lemon yellow and start adding a touch, because lemon tends to be very fluorescent like that. The thing I'm looking at though is this almost looks, because it's got the Viridian in it, it's got a little bit of granulation, which is really nice. So this one that I'm doing right now is Hooker's Green. It's a really pretty Hooker's Green. Nice job on that one. So this one looks like a handmade watercolor green. The Hooker's Green is made with 3 pigments. So PY 180, PR 101, which is like a red and like a red orange, and PG 35. Interesting. Where's that PG 36? God, they're so small. I can't read it, even with my glasses on. Sap green. I'm always into sap green. Oh, interesting. So this sap green, wow, that's different. The sap green's almost like a forest green. So I would definitely not get this if I were looking for sap green, although it is an interesting green because it's almost like shadow green, or like like leaning towards a black green, like perylene green. See, like in mass tone, it almost is black. So to me, it has the qualities of a perylene green or like a winter kind of pine color. But I am going to label it so that you know which one this is. I would not buy this as a sap green, but I might buy it just as a color. Again, it's mixed with PBR6 and PG7, so pretty standard. I think, I don't know, it's unusual. It's an unusual sap green. It doesn't look like a sap green that I would normally go for. Oh, this is weird. So the forest green isn't re-wetting at all. Like, I can't get any color out of it. So let's just, you see what I mean? What is that made out of? PBR7 and PO51? I don't know. The forest green isn't re-wetting at all. It's hard as a rock, and it's not giving me anything, but we can put it down as a placement marker. Look at that. And I pre-sprayed it too. Okay, I got a dead color. Strange. Well, we'll go back to it and just leave it there. Isn't that strange? Perylene green. I love perylene green. Oh, beautiful perylene green. Now, I'm interested to see how this dries, because once I get a great perylene green that wets, that paints really good, because I love the Schmincke one, then you look to see how it dries, because some of them dry insanely chalky. I don't know why, but that'll be the true test, is how this dries. Perylene green is typically like a black. This one is, yep, a single pigment perylene green. That's for me. I like that one. Moss green. That's kind of pretty. It's like a green gold. I really like, well, this one's nice. I like this. I mean, I could mix this though, you know, but it is really pretty. So this one, moss green, is made with 3 colors. So yeah, I don't think I would order this one, because I can mix this one pretty easily. But I do like how granulating it is. So if you wanted a convenience green that was like kind of a green gold almost. Oh, here's their green gold. Yep, this is a green leaning gold. It's nice. Very pretty. I like the mass tone of it. It paints really nicely. I do like the My Mary Blue one, but I like this one too. This one's really pretty. This one's a little different. Pretty color. New Gamboge. Beautiful New Gamboge. This is probably more of my yellow of choice. Remember when we were looking at the yellows before, and I'll bring them out in just a second. I would actually, if I were going to have a set of Michael Harding, I would use New Gamboge. I like this one. And I'm interested to see what pigment they use, because I have a favorite pigment that this kind of looks like. See this New Gamboge compared to the other yellows. Now look at how they dried. And this is 100% cotton paper, so it's really interesting to see how they dry, you know, because wet, of course, they look gorgeous, and then dry, it can be a different story. They tell a different story. But let me see what New Gamboge is, because I'll bet it's my favorite one. Yes, it's PY150, my favorite pigment, my favorite yellow pigment. I actually use PY150 in a lot of my handmade watercolor mixes. And quinacridone gold. Ooh, this is a pretty quinacridone gold, but it's so similar to the new gamboge just a bit. So like you could probably just take a touch of something else and get this color. Let's see if this is a quinacridone mix. It's really pretty. So to me, I would have to pick, in this line, I would have to pick between the quinacridone gold and the new gamboge, and that would be happening after it dries. So we'll go back and take a look at how it dries. So to look at what's in it, let me take a look at Quin Gold. So Quin Gold is my PY150, which covers my PY150 category. So I love the Quin Gold with PY150, and it's PR209. So this is actually my preferred Quin Gold these days. This mix is a beautiful, beautiful mix, and will probably paint just great for you. But the question is, do we like the new gamboge, which is the PY150, or do we like the mix? And would you buy both? Or would you just buy one and then buy a PR209 and mix your own, so that you would have 3 colors instead of 2? So what I was saying before is literally you could get a single pigment PR209 and get the new gamboge, and then whenever you want a more gold color, you just mix the 2. You know what I mean? But that is a beautiful gold. So if you want something pre-mixed, it's lovely. Quinacridone bronze. Ooh. Oh, that looks so similar. So this one doesn't lean enough. This has just, all they've done with this one, Quinacridone bronze, is just added one more pigment to their mix. So this is a 3 pigment, a tri-pigment color. It's not for me. This is definitely something I would rather play with myself than have something so similar out of the tube. I would pick the new gamboge and then probably get a red and mix my own gold. But if you needed a gold, this is a beautiful gold. Burnt sienna. I'm getting into those earth tones. This is a lovely burnt sienna. I have some students that are crazy about burnt sienna. And one of my favorite earth tones is actually by Mr. Gold, because it uses the PY150. So it's very easy to mix with colors, because that just gives you some really beautiful deep greens and really lovely mixes when it's got the PY150 in it. Burnt sienna 125. So on their chart, it is the PR101. So this is a lovely transparent burnt sienna. I can't imagine, I mean, like, if you're looking for one, you're not going to find a better one. This is a really beautiful one. It's a single pigment. It will give you a lot of really gorgeous warm tones, and it's going to make it really easy for you to mix colors. So if you're looking for one that won't give you a hard time, that's definitely one. Transparent oxide brown is a very important color in granulating mixes, but it does depend on the strength of it, and this one looks like it doesn't really translate that great. So I probably would skip this version of transparent oxide brown and go with Schmincke. They use transparent oxide brown in some of their super granulating mixes. So it is a great one to have on hand if you like granulating colors, but just, I wouldn't say this particular one, because it's just, it does granulate, but it's a little tough to use. I don't think it's really stable. Raw umber. A little bit harder to re-wet and to get like depth of color out of. I think there are better raw umbers out there. So their earth tones aren't the best. I think earth tones, I'm still liking Schmincke. I like the Roman Schmal earth tones, and I love the A Gallo earth tones. A Gallo earth tones are beautiful. There's not too much that A Gallo doesn't do well though. Titanium Buff. Interesting. It's like more of a gray. Oh, that's really pretty. Oops. You see it? So I can definitely mix this myself. You know, not one I would buy, but I do like it. I think it's a neat color. Let me see what's in this one. This was so much fun. I thank you so much for sending me these samples. These are great, and they're huge. I can definitely use them for things. Titanium Buff. So it's basically just white. PW6, PW61. Okay, so it's their version of white. I have paint on the back of this now, so here. I can't see. I'll have to hold it. Okay. Let's see. So next is Moonlight. I saw this one in a review. I guess it's a dupe for the Daniel Smith Moon Glow, maybe? It's kind of like a blue, violet, gray. So I think it's kind of similar to Presby's Gray by Roman Schmal, which I really like. It's very pretty. This one's a little more transparent though, and it's granulating. I actually think this is a lovely color. I know this is a mix, but I love the way it granulates. It's really pretty. So let's take a look, because that's probably one that I wouldn't mind getting. It's like a collector's color for me. But it is a 3 mix, but it's transparent. It's okay with light fast. PR1, is it 177? PB29, which is ultra marine, and I think it says PG11. I do like it though. It's really pretty. Let's see how it dries. Just add a little bit of water and let it break apart, because it's going to have those 3 different colors are going to granulate in there. Purple Haze is another one. Huh. So a little more gray. But very pretty. So Purple Haze, I almost think it's got a little bit of pink in it, which leads me to think that it's very much like the White Nights, what is it, pink gray or rose gray mist. So Purple Haze. Purple Haze. So PG18, I think, PB29, and PO73. Huh. Purple Haze. So which colors do you guys like? Did you see anything that you would buy? It's funny, I was just looking at the sale too, and I was like, should I buy some for the subscriptions? Or, I mean, it's a bit pricey. This is a pretty color too. So I guess these are their version of the special mixes by Daniel Smith or by White Nights. or by Roman Schmal. They all have these kind of mixes. This one's more like, got like more cobalt in it. It's called Cosmic Blue. And Cosmic Blue, yep, it's got cobalt in it, I think. Or it's made with, oh, it's made with a phthalo blue. Yeah, you can kind of see that. So basically, you could get this with like phthalo blue and black, I think, pretty much, depending on the black that you have. Let's look at indigo. Ooh, it's a nice indigo. One of my favorite indigos is very inky like this. It's by, it's the old version of indigo from Winsor & Newton, but I don't like the new stuff they've been putting out. I liked their old one. The only problem with it was it used to dry really hard. So like if you didn't use your tube, you almost had to get smaller tubes, because if you used like really big tubes and you didn't use them, it would dry up. But I love this indigo. Now see, I would get that indigo because that's beautiful. It's made with 3 colors though, but it is really, really pretty. So I wonder if we add a little water to it, you know, it will bloom like crazy, right? And that would make it such a cool background. I actually think I'm gonna order the indigo and do like a review of the indigos, you know. This is a really pretty Payne's Gray. One of my favorite Payne's Grays though is by Sennelier. I love the Sennelier Payne's Gray. It's really pretty. But this one's really nice. This reminds me of one of the Roman Schmal Grays. That's pretty. I love, look how easy that is for stones. Surprising. I actually love these moody shades. These are really nice. These are probably ones that I would either mix myself, or depending on the colors that are in them, or if I didn't have them, I would buy them in the tubes because I really like them. I think that they're really juicy. They re-wet nicely, and they're gorgeous, gorgeous, fun, moody shades that are different and unique, you know. I would have to paint these next to the White Knights, I would say, because some of these look very, they look like they're black based with pigments in them. So before I buy them, I think I'll just compare them to what I have by the White Knights and see if they're too similar, but they paint lovely, and White Knights has been really hard to get lately. Plus they've gone up in price. These are so pretty. I think these are lovely. These grays are really nice. Totally into them. And then I think this last one is Vine Black. We're gonna look back at these in just a sec. Well, of course, at the end of the day, listen, you would be blessed and lucky to be able to have even a swatching set of these, which I got from Ray, and I am so blessed to have. So thank you so much for sending these to me. I still have tons left to play with. I'm super excited about it. I believe that's Vine Black. Yeah, so Vine Black PBK 11. So that's a pretty standard black, but a great PBK 11. So if you wanted something that you could mix into granulating moody shades, this would be a great one to have to do it. The only thing is you probably, if you're going to use it as a mixing color, want to compare prices. But as far as granulation, this has gorgeous granulation. What I did notice here with these paints is he's got the granulation down. So what he does give you is quality, highly granulating paint colors. And I think that that's one of the things that makes this line stand out and very special, is the ones that granulate. So let's take a closer look while these dry. Going back to the beginning, This one obviously is like a non-starter for me. As far as the yellows, looking over the yellows, I have most of these. I think that the Hans is a really nice yellow. However, I did see that it started to kind of like break apart, and I'm not really sure why. So I don't know if this is something that you've experienced before. I haven't ever experienced my yellow doing that before, but it could have just maybe some of this orange attacked it and just kind of split to the ends. I like the stable Indian yellow the best here, and I also really I liked their cadmium yellow, but I typically don't choose that one. I would have to paint with that to see how it does with my mixes. The new Gamboge is a beautiful, beautiful yellow. Would I get the Quinn Gold? Not likely, because I already have something like this. It is a PY 150 Gold though, which I love. And seeing as Quinn Gold is primarily a mix now, if you wanted a Quinn Gold, this is nice, but you can mix it yourself. So maybe new Gamboge would be a really good option, because that's just a really beautiful warm one. I would say this is really close to the Azo yellow that you see in a lot of sets. Roman Schmal has a gorgeous yellow that is an Azo yellow. You can also see it kind of is close to my Cover Me in Sunshine color, but my Cover Me in Sunshine is just a bit more clear. So I would say my Sunshine is in between the new Gamboge and the Indian yellow. And the Azo yellow that I like is right here, and that looks just like the new Gamboge. So this is the PY 150 that I love and prefer, and that is identical to it. So I probably wouldn't purchase it. This is a really great Quinn Gold that has like some really beautiful granulation in it. This is a little more clear, you know, so probably again not going to be something that I choose. But I do like some of these pinks here. I'm not crazy about this orange. It's not as bold as I like my oranges to be. I do like the Scarlet Lake. The crimson, Pearline Crimson, actually is really nice. It's not like a dry, dusty one, so it dried really nicely. The Rich Scarlet is like that. It's like a pyro red. It's a beautiful red, and it's clear, and it dries really nicely and gives you nice coverage while still having transparency. Alizarin Clarinet, I like that. I think that's nice. And the Quinn Rose, that's a pretty standard Quinn Rose, but a beautiful one. The Brilliant Pink was a surprise for being a mix. It really did dry so nicely. So if you couldn't mix something like that with white, then maybe you would buy that. The magenta is pretty standard. There is one by Schmincke that's just like it. The Amethyst isn't really, I would get Daniel Smith's Amethyst. It has like sparkles in it. I think that is okay, but not great. This is a really beautiful Manganese Violet, comparable to Schmincke for sure. The Potter's Pink is a gorgeous granulating color. I think they've done a great job with the Potter's Pink here. I still like the Schmincke Potter's Pink the best, and I like Roman Schmal Potter's Pink as a second to that. This purple I thought I was going to order, but it went too dusty, so wasn't crazy about it. The Pearline Violet I love, but I like the Schmincke one as it dries better. I like this wet better than I did dry. The Indian Throne Blue is beautiful, but again, I still like some of the other Indian Throne Blues that I've been using lately, so I think I'm going to pass on that one. The Cobalt Teal is just like the Daniel Smith one, also a lot like Schmincke. The Cerulean Blue is gorgeous. This is really pretty. I would say it's close to the Daniel Smith Chromium. However, it's nicer, but it is a little gray blue, so it's not like a... I really like this Cerulean Blue. I would say that is a yes. The Hooker's Green is okay, but I think the Hooker's Green by Roman Schmal is a better deal. The Sap Green I don't like. I think this is much too much of a forest green for it to be a sap green. And as a forest green, I much prefer the A Gallo Forest. It's really beautiful. But as I was saying, you could mix a color like this. So if you took like a Quinn Gold and an ultramarine, you can see right now, you can definitely mix yourself a beautiful forest and some really pretty sap greens, and also some of these tealy turquoises that would be granulating. I used like Schmincke Ultramarine, and I can't remember which Quinn Gold this is. I think this is, what is this one? I can't remember which one it is. I have to look back and see, but typically I think it's St. Elliot. Or no, this is M-gram. Yes, this is actually both M-gram, because I was using M-gram. That's in our subscription box right now. So this month's subscription, which is actually available still on the website at jackswatercolor.com, so you can pick up one. You can get these colors in this subscription box. Okay, so getting back, this one just was a non-starter, right? It didn't even come off for us, which was the forest green. Let me just mark it. Yeah, that one didn't happen. We know the New Gamboge, Quinn Gold, M-gram definitely is nice. The burnt sienna, this is a gorgeous burnt sienna. Is it better than the burnt sienna by M-gram? Well, you can see, look, this is the one by M-gram, and this is the one from Michael Harding. I actually like both. They are so similar, but I would say that the burnt sienna by Michael Harding is a bit more orange. It's got a bit more of that like orange, so it'd be really interesting in like fur, you know, like it's too orange for bark though, right? So it would be a good mixing color. This is a more neutral burnt sienna in the M-gram, so if I compared the two and I was having trouble getting Michael Harding, I would just get the M-gram, you know. This actually turned out to be a pretty good color, this transparent iron oxide, but the thing is it doesn't re-wet and paint as easily as other ones, so that would be a no for me. The raw umber, no, not so much. It's nice though. It's a nice raw umber. The moonlight, seeing it dry, it's beautiful, but it's so close to the other colors that I have from other lines. I really do think that Roman Schmal does a great job with these like moody kind of splitting, granulating grays. So I would go and check out those, like Purple Haze. I would check out the Roman Schmal ones. Let me see if I have the chart. Yep, I do. Okay, so Shadow Violet is really, really pretty. This is Roman Schmal's Shadow Violet. Presby's Gray, really, really beautiful. Presby's Gray has like a purple, like a really pretty purple to it. Can you see that? Their Payne's Gray is really, really nice. So remember, I liked the Payne's Gray here. It's really pretty. But the Roman Schmal's got a gorgeous Payne's Gray. It's got a gorgeous Perylene Green. Their Hooker's Green is amazing. The Italian Burnt Sienna, so when you're looking at Burnt Sienna, their Italian Burnt Sienna is just like that. It's beautiful. And then they have this Mummy Transparent Red, which I love. So you can see like there's so many colors that are less expensive. Roman Schmal has almost doubled in price since I started with them, but they're such a really great line for the price. So I don't know how you feel about Michael Harding and if you saw anything here that you can't live without, but I feel like after swatching them, there are so many colors that I have by Roman Schmal that I absolutely love, like the Ocean Blue and like Caput Mortem. The Potter's Pink by Roman Schmal is like amazing. I love the color of this Potter's Pink. Let's compare it to the Michael Harding, which is also a very, very lovely Potter's Pink. So there's the Michael Harding Potter's Pink, and there's the Roman Schmal. So you can see the Roman Schmal one is a lot more pink. This one is a gorgeous one, much like Schmincke, like a Schmincke pink. And then the Manganese Violet is a beautiful Manganese Violet. The one by Roman Schmal is not as nice as this one, but I have the Schmincke one, which is gorgeous. But this is a really gorgeous one, and this would make some beautiful granulating mixes, especially if you mixed it with this to kind of liven it up more, the Corinthian purple. The Perylene violets, I feel like I just have so many Perylenes to compare them to. I do love Perylenes. I have been liking the M-gram Perylenes a lot. I like the Perylenes, like the Perylene green here from Roman Schmal, but I also am pretty crazy about the ones from Schmincke. I think Schmincke has some beautiful, beautiful colors. Now let's really quick just get out the White Night stuff. So like when it comes to greens, there's Jadeite, which is beautiful. This Aquamarine, which is by White Night, is beautiful. Deep Sea Green by Schmincke is gorgeous. Volcanic Yellow is such a pretty yellow right now. So dark blue shadows. So like when, see what happened to the indigo? See how it becomes very like dry and kind of matte looking? That's not the indigo that I like. I like it to kind of hold its color more. This dark blue is so pretty. So I'm looking to see if any of these are kind of dupes for the White Nights colors. So that gray rose color I was telling you about. So this is the Gray Rose Mist. I actually sell swatches of this on my website. I love this color because within this one color, it splits into this pink and this gray. And I was kind of hoping that this would too, because I'm having trouble getting more of this color. So I think you pretty much get it in the Purple Haze. So Purple Haze is one of the colors that's really interesting to me because it can be really hard to get this White Night one, this Gray Rose Mist. I actually only have a little bit of it left in my store. But I do like their version of Purple Haze, which is similar. So otherwise, I've been working on mixing this myself because it's hard to find. This Moonlight is also another dupe for this. It looks like it's kind of really interesting looking. I like it. Cosmic Blue. I don't know what happened to the Cosmic Blue. It kind of just didn't really do much. I'd have to paint more with it before I made a decision, but yeah, but these are beautiful. They're beautiful colors. Are they premium priced colors? Try A Gallo first, try Roman Schmal first. There are so many colors out there. Overall, there were some colors here, but am I gonna rush to go get them? Honestly, the only one that if I continue to have problems with, I would probably go and buy the Purple Haze. Everything else I already have. I didn't see anything in here that there's some beautiful granulation. I think the Cerulean Blue is lovely. I actually might just buy Cerulean Blue. And if I wanted a Potter's Pink that was this color and it's not like my Schmincke, which I think it is, then I might buy some of this. And like the Cerulean Blue and the Potter's Pink and then the Purple Haze. So right now I've got it down to 3 that I don't really have exactly by anyone else, but again, they're kind of close. Okay, so I'd like to know what you guys think. What were your favorites that you saw here? And I was looking for my swatches. I was hoping to find like my big swatch card from Schmincke, but I'll have to do it on another video. Okay, thank you again to Ray for sending me these lovely watercolors. I really enjoyed it. Again, I hope that if you found my review to be negative against this brand, it's not at all. I just have so much watercolor. I have thousands because Jack's Watercolor sells samples of every watercolor. I feel that Michael Harding is a bit too expensive, but I would be willing to put it in our subscription if you guys really, really want to try it. I just like, yeah, there's only 3 here that I really don't already have that I could possibly order from them. So I'm going to think about those, but I'm going to go compare them to my Schmincke and just make a final decision. But thank you guys for watching, and thank you for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial or this little swatch with me video. This is a pretty, really kind of neat thing to go through, and I learned a lot. All right, bye guys. See you later.